Hey guys, Z from Build a Business You Love here. I'm so sorry. I didn't pull out my ring light, so I am dark here in the corner. But thank you guys so much for watching my videos, by the way. I really appreciate it. And as a token of my appreciation, I wanted to show you guys all the freebies that I do have on my website. If you go to buildabusinessyouLove.com, build a business the letter U love.com, I have a bunch of freebies, including a free event space checklist, a startup checklist, and a small business startup cost spreadsheet that you can actually download for free. Just go to the website and click on free downloads. Okay. Today's presentation or video is actually going to be about how to deal with a cancellation. Okay. So, as we know, we have for the people who are already in the business, right? And for the people who are planning to be in the business, for the aspiring event space owners, we know that we're going to at some point have to deal with a cancellation. And when it comes to cancellation, there's a lot that you have to deal with that I don't think that people really consider, right? We have to deal with attitudes. We have to deal with people in their situations, whether it be financial, if something happens to them, their emotions, and you kind of have to play and factor that into your own stuff that you have going on, right? So, and that may be hard to do sometimes, especially as a small business owner, especially as a new small business owner, right? It may be hard to factor all those things and put everything into perspective. So I did this video kind of to go over some of the things that you can consider, right, when dealing with a cancellation with a particular client. So, as we all know, sometimes, we have people book and they decide, hey, I found a better space. I found a bigger space. I found a space that's more compatible with my people. I found a space that is smaller, or I just don't have the money right now. We decided to not do it. What do we do, right? So you're going to have those situations. And for whatever reason it is, I want you to first know your contract. You should know your contract like the back of your hand. Okay. You should know your contract. You should know what happens because you wrote it, right? That's why it's important for you to write your contract and you to know for you to know what's going on. So that when someone cancels, whatever's in your contract, so say, for example, that you have, I don't know, 24 hours before they can get, if you decide, hey, after 24 hours, you can't get a refund, you'll just have buyer's remorse, or after 7 days, or you're not getting a refund at all. Whatever it is that you tell your people, that whether or not they're entitled to a refund once they've booked, make sure that they completely understand it at the time of contract signing. And this is a big reason why I am, when it comes to automating things, I am really fond of the business owner speaking with the customer, the client, whatever you want to call them, on a one basis, so they understand what goes on in the contract, right? Automating things is great, and in some cases it makes things a lot smoother, but other times on the back end it can cause a lot of headaches, right? So you want to make sure that your particular customer or client knows what's going on in your contract, right? But you have to know what's going on in your contract first. So whatever you decided to do in your contract, like I said, whether it's no refunds at all or no refunds after 24 hours after you sign, whatever it is that you decided to do, it should be in your contract and they should have signed, right? So this is something that they should have already agreed to. So when they call, send an email, send a text message and say, hey, I want to cancel, you can always refer them back to the contract that they've signed. Now, a lot of times we don't like to do this because we feel bad. It's not because we don't know the contract sometimes. Sometimes we know what's going on. We know what they are eligible to receive or not receive their deposit or their retainer back, right? But sometimes we feel bad about it. We feel like, I don't really want to ask them for it back. I mean, I don't want to, tell them no. I want to give it to them back. This happened, that happened. But you have to really remember why you're in business. You're not in business for people to come and give you money and then change their minds, right? This is not what we do. We're holding the date for them, whether people ask for it or not. Some people say, oh well, if no one asks for the date, then or if you can still book the day, then they can have their deposit back. I don't like to promise that, or I didn't like to promise that, because it's no guarantee, right? And whether or not, if something like that did happen, this is on the customer, because they decided to book with you. They understood the consequences. And also, they are the ones who are ultimately canceling, right? So remember why you are in business. Sometimes emotions get involved, especially when you have situations where, there's hardship, or sometimes people lose a baby, things like that, do happen. And in those situations, you use your discretion. You decide whether or not this is something you should do, if you should refund them because of those particular circumstances. But I've had people, to be honest with you, who have lied and created false documents, false death certificates, in order to get their refund back. I've had this happen twice, where someone had booked and they had to cancel because they had claimed to have the death of the baby. Now, the first time I knew, it was kind of clear that I don't want to say that they were lying, but they came in smiling. They were happy. They presented this death certificate. It looked like it was done on Microsoft Word. You know, I still gave them their money back, because I'm like, if you want to put that on your future children or your child, then that's on you. That's how I felt about it. But I had another case where the couple came in, they booked, and just a couple days after, she miscarried, and I was just like, oh. Now, this in this case, it was very clear that they had miscarried. They were upset. They were crying. They were just like, and I felt really bad. I said, you know what? They didn't even ask for it, because she said, I know it's in the contract. I just wanted to let you know that we were canceling so you could free up the date. I appreciated that. I gave them back their retainer. It's really up to you. It's on a case by case basis. But remember why you're in business, because people will come to you with some real mess, okay? So, and excuses and all of that stuff. So just remember why you are in business when it comes to this kind of thing, okay? Also, at this point, everything should be in writing, okay? Everything. Once they decide to cancel, once you get wind that they decide to cancel, everything should be in writing. Okay, tell them to put it in writing that they want to cancel. Tell them, and all of your responses should be in writing. Okay, and I'm going to go over the response that you should give in the next video, in part two of this video. But I wanted to kind of keep these videos in little digestible chunks, so that you can, kind of internalize it and process it. And when you're ready for the next video, you can, look at the next video instead of having one long, ultra long video. Um, but at any rate, make sure that everything is in writing at this point. Nothing should be done over the phone, because they'll call and they'll get this person to call and that person to call. I understand that you said that it's no refunds on the retainer or the deposit, but X, Y, and Z. Make sure that you say, okay, I understand that. From this point on, I would prefer that everything is in writing. Hang up the phone on them, okay? Not rudely, but you know what I mean. Do it in a nice professional way, but let them know that you would prefer to keep this on paper. You need a paper trail. You need receipts if they decide to come back and sue you, or something like that, especially if you have a really large retainer to hold the space for them. This is something that they can potentially sue you for, right? So you want to make sure that everything is on paper, okay? And everything is written out, and there's receipts for everything. A lot of times you can't have that if it's a conversation, even if it's recorded, because in some states you have to have their permission, right? Um, at this point, guys, I just want to let you know that I do have an event space Facebook group. It's called the Startup Management Event Space Group, from Build the Business You Love. Look it up, Event Space Startup and Management and Decor. Look it up. It's a bunch of like-minded people. And be sure to also to subscribe to this page if you find anything that I've said in this video interesting or impactful. Okay, let's continue. The last thing I want you to know is that you need to keep an eye out for chargebacks, okay? Because they've decided to cancel, the likelihood of them calling their credit card company their um, bank and saying, hey, this is a mistake. I don't recognize this charge. It's very high. At this point, you need to keep an eye out for chargebacks, for any communications from your payment processing systems. If you use Square or Stripe or whatever it is that you use, keep an eye out for any emails, because sometimes, those emails will kind of get mixed in with all the other stuff you have going on. And these things are timed. They'll say, oh, within 3 days, you have to submit proof that they booked, or proof of, that this is the person that actually did it, or whatever it is. And you would have to submit that information within that given time. You want to make sure that you keep an eye out for those chargeback emails. Okay. That's very, very important. Okay. Um, Guys, I wanted to let you know that I do have a course out right now. It's called the Ultimate Event Space Course. It's a really cool course right now. It's extremely affordable. It is talks all about startup, how to start and properly fundamentally start your business in the correct way to position it for funding. It talks about how to manage your business, how to operate your business, and the things you need to purchase. Gives you contracts and templates. Talks about zoning and permits, all the things that you need to know to learn about how to get started. It's actually within this bundle, and I also have a growing Facebook group that's associated with this course, so you could speak to people who are on the same journey that you're on. So the link for that will be actually in somewhere around here, probably in the description, or pinned to the top in the comments. So make sure you check out this course, okay? And right now it's really affordable, so be sure to check it out. And I am going to do a part 2 of this video on the language that you should use and how to go about discussing your when someone cancels, and what you should do as a business owner, as an event space owner, when someone cancels. So thanks, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and check out the next video.